Hello and welcome to part 6 of chapter 10. So we have a new image and a quick review. The ivy does a great work, same for the lighting and the trees, because we can see some nice light streaks on this ivy, what created nice depth on this side as well. Can be improved, but it works. And overall, I think we're getting closer to a nice result. But we still need to improve some parts, so we're not there yet, but we're getting closer. So the next thing that I like to do is still tweaking a little bit of the ivy, because now there are some empty spots there and here, and it looks more that they're put there. So why is there no ivy on this place? So think about it. I have to put some ivy on this house because now it looks a bit empty. And it shouldn't be, because I don't know why there is no empty, why there's no ivy on this building. So, and we're going to focus on volume scattering fog, and how that works. So we go to the viewport, and we'll take a look at this building to add ivy, and I will pause it, because yeah, you know how to add ivy and how to tweak it. I just wanted to show you that we want to have something on this spot. And it's strange because I thought I already added the ivy, but I can't see it. That's strange. So I will pause the video and back in a second. So welcome back. Yeah, I added some ivy on the building. You can see it right there. And if I go to the second layer, and we need to wait a little bit because all that ivy eats our computer totally. So the ivy on the building does a great job because it's wrapping on the ceiling, on the border. So it looks very well. And if we take a look at the canal and we apply, I changed some ivy. So there are no more empty spaces, so that will look way better. And I added some extra ivy on the railing. So yeah, that's the nature part, and we will continue focusing on volume fog. So in the environment chapter, I already explained how that works. So we will do that again. We go add a cylinder. Go to add mesh and start displaying. We go to add mesh and we add a cylinder. And we want the cylinder to be something like this. So when we apply the nature, we even want a bit more. Everything needs to be inside this cube because we will fill this cylinder with fog. And we go to the viewport and make it a bit smaller. Something like this scale. And now we go to the cube and make this bounce. Oh no, wire. There we go. So my viewport is kind of heavy. And I will select just the first layer to speed it up. I don't know why this cube is there. Just delete it. You don't want. And give it a name like fog. Fog. Right. We go to the material settings. And there we are. This is for the world settings. We go to the object. And right now we need to add a new material. Fog. Right. And we need to find our node. There it is. And by default, it's diffused. And we don't want diffused. We go to add a shader, volume scattering. And we put this into the volume, not the surface. So it has a default value of 1 and no anisotrophy, if I'm right. Yes. So we go to the render settings. And before we make some test renders, we want to add some extra bounces for the volume. And I pick a value of 3. It seems to be working very well. Right, we go to the viewport, and if we hit render, it will be very, very foggy. But just take a look how that works out. Yeah. Ooh, that looks so fancy. It's all black. And if that's right, well, we need to find out. It's supposed to be gray. Something is not really going well. So let's take a look. Why this is gray or dark. If we decrease this by 0.01. Okay, well, there was too much mist in the scene, and if I decrease this to 0.01, it looks already much better. The question is, do we want this amount of fog? I mean, fog is, of course, a great tool to add some more mood in the scene, depth, and all the kinds of names you can give it, but you don't want to put too much fog in the scene, because then it has no function. So by changing this value, you can add more sort of sun streaks into it. There will be more sort of depth in it. So make this a point of 0.9. And right now there is not a lot visible, but if we add the buildings in the scene, then the fog will be sort of blocked. And always a challenge when you are recording courses and you have to wait and you can't show it on real time. Right now it's calculating the buildings, and we're getting close. Whew. Yeah, we're getting very close to a render. Good. Okay. So this value will make it looks like the sun is shining, sort of sun. What's the name? Sun flare? No, it's not sun flares, but light streaks, more kind of that kind of effect. Make this 0. It looks more. Yeah, you see more fog. Now fog is everywhere in the scene, but increasing this, let's play with it. It's a very useful value. It's like when you look outside and you have a nice scene that the sun is shining through the clouds and you see the God rays. Well, you can achieve that with the anisotrophy. So I think 0.01 is a very nice value. You can choose less, like 0.005, and it's a very gentle value. But because I like to show you what mist is, you can even go for 2, and there will be lots of fog in the scene. Like this. So the best thing to do is, I'll pick 0.01. Really, don't use my values as a value that it's supposed to be. You know, like I'm using 0.01, and then you use this for all your scenes. It's just a value that I think it fits this scene the best. But play with it. That's a good thing. Right. Okay. I'm switching this off, and I like to do one more thing in the nature layer. It's getting very, very heavy. I don't want to add more ivy. It will be impossible to record this course. So drag this. The reason that I drag this more to the camera, maybe rotating it. Oh, I like to rotate it a little bit. Is that I was missing some rim light, because now it's very black and there's no depth. As on this railing you can see nice sun reflections there as well. It's very important to have these in your scene. So I'm putting this a bit more forward, and I'm hoping to see a bit more of the light. And same for this tree. It's maybe I have to rotate the light a little bit more. So I go back to layer 1, and we'll do two kind of things. First thing I will do, we render it. And I like to rotate this more to the right. It looks more believable. And the second thing, I'm going to turn this off. The second thing that I like to do is grab this sunlight. It's good to have it in layer 1. That's it. Just very gentle. Okay. So now what we need to do is apply all the layers. A quick review: is everything set? We do not forgive. Well, the ivy does the work from there. There's no more empty space. Maybe there a little bit, but well, some borders are fine. You don't want to put it everywhere. Same for this spot that you see some of the border. But I think we need to give it another render. And this time I will use 200 samples. And because fog will require way more samples. For my final render I used 1500. So, and it was calculating 6 hours. That's a lot. Anyway, make a new render. This is the end of this part. And then in the next one, we do the final review. And I will give some tips and tricks to improve it. So see you in the next and last part of this course. Bye-bye.